Hello and welcome to Rotted Reviews, and today would have been the Rotted Report, except for a few things. Most notably, there really isn't a whole lot of news in the world of horror cinema right now. That kind of comes down to two things. First of all, when I was doing searches for horror news, the sad thing is that the state of the world right now, that there is enough horrific elements that that's pretty much what filled up my feed by searching for that. So not a whole lot in the world of cinema. And when I did actually find things about horror films for the month of March, it was mostly just release schedule updates and trailer announcements. And if I'm going to do that, I may as well just do a trailer recap. And to be perfectly honest, I'm happy to do the Rotted Report. I love doing it, honestly. It's a lot of fun, but I also don't want it to just be nothing but fluff. I actually want some substance in there. So with the way that releases kind of ebb and flow and so forth, if I'm faced with a lack of releases, I would rather just do something light and fun. So I'm going to do a portion of the Rotted Report, which is VOD and streaming release segments, and instead just kind of focus on that and maybe have a little fun and talk about it. So instead of just showing it, I'll actually go through some of my picks as far as, stuff I'm looking forward to. So here we go. So the images I'll be showing today, as far as what is coming out on streaming platforms, comes courtesy of public releases from Fangoria magazine, which is a fantastic publication. If you have a horror lover in your life and you want to think about a Christmas or a birthday present, subscription to Fangoria magazine is always a good bet. All right, so let's take a look at what's coming out in March. So, I haven't scripted anything. I haven't prepared anything. Honestly, I just kind of loaded up these images and I haven't even really looked at them yet. So let's go down this informal whatever journey together. All right. So 𝗘𝗾𝘂𝗶𝗽𝗺𝗺.com. It's a great streaming subscription service, especially for a lot more of the niche classical titles and so forth. If you are a horror/cinemaphile, 𝗘𝗾 is a fantastic resource. So I'm already seeing some great things in there. Faust, The Golem, White Zombie, that's a classic. Some good stuff there. I mean, it's very 𝗘𝗾 material. Looks like Tubi and HBO Max are going to be kind of tackling their own little franchises, with Underworld going to Tubi and Resident Evil going to HBO Max. I gotta be honest, I've never really been the biggest fan of Underworld. I can't believe they made as many movies as they did, but I don't know. The whole thing about, if you know my channel, you know that I'm not the biggest on vampires. And when I do enjoy vampire movies, it's usually kind of when they do the odd exploratory character drama kind of things, let the right one in, things like that. The idea of the generational legacy of pomp and circumstance and so forth, the families feuding, that kind of thing, it just doesn't interest me in the slightest. So, and the monochromatic dullness. I mean, I've seen clips. I've had my partner watch Underworld, and I've kind of caught it in the background as I'm reading, and it just looks so. Not for me. Resident Evil, I've actually only seen the first one. Zombies, I think, are a bit more interesting than the generational familial feuding family vampire lichen thing. I don't know. I think that I would be way more inclined if I wanted to tackle one of those franchises, either or. I would definitely pick Resident Evil. So, looking forward to that. Blade is a good addition. I mean, at the very least, you get to see somebody kill those families with Blade and Halloween Kills there. All right, what else we got? Peacock. We got the Leprechaun series. Oof. Leprechaun is one. I actually have seen all the Leprechaun movies, and it's honestly one of the franchises I can think of where I really didn't care for any single one of them. I think that there's a lot of fun camp value in them, but just watching them solo, not my favorite thing in the world. I appreciate so much the absolute joy that Warwick Davis brought to the screen as the titular character. Clearly, he had a lot of fun, and I think that it was an absolute dreadful mistake to drop him later on as they kind of rebranded, the series. But Yeah, outside of that campy funness, I just don't see a whole lot of cinematic merit there. Rear Window, Rope. So yeah, it looks like we're going down Vertigo. We're going down some Alfred Hitchcockian stuff. I love Rope so much. I actually I was in a stage play of it when I was in high school, and to this day it remains one of my favorite Hitchcockian tales. Love Rope, and I'm a big fan of Jimmy Stewart. So there we go. Let's see, more Underworld stuff. Okay. Amazon Prime, Blackula, Prometheus, and Scream, Blackula, Scream. What is going on with Prime? I mean, they have such a massive catalog, but it kind of seems like every time we do a new release schedule update thing, it's only like 2 or 3 entries. Are they just not, publicly listing them all? I mean, if it honestly, I mean, first of all, their catalog is almost impossible to browse properly. I mean, Tubi is fantastic for that. Amazon Prime, good luck. If you know what you're looking for and you're able to search for it, then yeah, it's great. The catalog is huge. But just trying to browse period piece horror films, you can't do it. So, I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I mean, it could be that they don't really have as big of a catalog as I think, and it's all just rental stuff. So it's just honestly tough to tell the way their terrible browsing structure is. Hulu getting Blue Velvet. Great movie there. Edward Scissorhands, Flatliners. The original Flatliners is awesome. Original Fright Night, Ghoulies. Wow, I mean, we got some good ones there. Kudos to Hulu for really kind of, bringing it lately. Yeah. I mean, both with, that and their originals. I actually just watched, based on Michael Keaton's SAG Award win, I just watched Dopesick, and that tore my heart out. So yeah, like I said, kudos to Hulu. They are doing a pretty good job there. I mean, especially for content that isn't strictly horror focused, like Arrow and Shudder and so forth. So yeah, definitely some good stuff there. Woman in Black. I'm wondering, it doesn't specify the Woman in Black, the original, or the Daniel Radcliffe remake. So I'm kind of curious about that. I liked them both, just different levels, different reasons. And we get to Paramount Plus. Blue Velvet. Okay, so more Blue Velvet. Edward Scissorhands. Okay, so we're just kind of repeating Hulu thing. I'm pretty sure that's probably just some contractual overlap. And lastly, looking at Shudder and Netflix. So await further instructions. That was a divisive one. I personally really did enjoy it. That was part of one of my Advent calendar videos where I reviewed that because it is set during Christmas time, and it really reminded me of kind of a Twilight Zone think piece that just really went to the nth degree. But I think a lot of people had trouble with the ending, so I liked it. I just got a lot of feedback from a lot of folks that didn't when I made my review of it. Bastards, Blood Conscious, Birth of the Living Dead, Corporate Animals. Okay, so Dario Argento's Trauma, Darkman series. I mean, I've only seen the first one, but I cherish the first one. I really should watch the other two. It's one of those situations where I cherish the first one so much, I don't want to tarnish it. And yeah, we'll see. Drop Dead Gorgeous. I guess that's horror in its own weird way. Etheria season 4. Neat. Okay, so I mean, if you haven't seen Etheria, it's a compilation of short films from the Etheria Film Festival, which is female directors, female filmmakers, and their compilations kind of thing. It's good stuff. Evolution. The David Duchovny, Orlando Jones comedy Evolution? That seems out of place. I mean, a great movie. A lot of fun. Ivan Reitman directing that, one of his later films. Man, still seems like an odd pick, though. Extraordinary, Frontiers, High Tension. So that's one. Okay, so High Tension, Inside, and Livid. That's I did hear that Shudder is going to be tackling some of the French extreme movies, and Martyrs. So I'm extraordinarily excited about that. Livid is one of my favorites, not just of French extreme, but honestly all time. It's just such a fascinating movie. I don't really give a lot away, but it has been extraordinarily difficult to find in the U.S. And I'm extremely excited that Shudder has finally picked up the mantle. I am absolutely on board for any of these streaming services to actually pick up the torch and take movies that have difficulty finding a place in Western distribution and making it happen. So major hats off to them for doing that. Martyrs is also one of my favorites. And how best to put this? I see a lot of people put it on their list of movies that they enjoyed watching, or not, enjoyed is a little strong, movies that they found a lot of value in, but they'll never watch again. I don't think it really winds up in that camp for me. I enjoyed it immensely, but I really don't think I would have any difficulty watching it again. Everybody's tolerances to gore and such vary, and make no mistake, it pushes some limits. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those, anytime anybody wants to kick it on for a watch party or something like that, I'm game. That's awesome. Bring it on. Love the Martyrs. And Inside. I love Inside. That might just be, not just, but there's a percentage there that might just be my appreciation for Beatrice Dalle. Let's see. Siege, The Town That Dreaded Sundown. Again, I'm wondering if that's the original or the remake. Tragedy Girls Triangle, Trouble Every Day. Trouble Every Day. So that's the continuing on with the kind of French extreme stuff. Beatrice Dalle. So yeah, that's a tough one. It's not as, it goes to some weird places. It's not as, I would say, difficult as Martyrs, but it does go to some weird places, and it can get pretty out there. And then Netflix, not really bringing it this time around. Only 6 entries. We got Christine, Freddy vs. Jason, The Gift, pretty standard fare, original and remake and Nightmare, and Texas Chainsaw 3D. So, just pretty, not unremarkable, but they're movies. Yeah, they're good horror movies, good staples. Nothing wrong with them. Give them a watch. So there we go. That is stuff that's coming out on streaming platforms for the month of March. And what are you looking forward to? I would love to hear from you. Whether you agree with me, you disagree with me, you feel differently, you have other movies, leave comments below. I'd love to hear from you. I thought, some good entries in this one, plenty of stuff to watch. And so leave your comments below, and if you like this video, please click like and subscribe. Thank you for joining me on this more of a kind of informal, just, shooting the breeze kind of video. So thank you very much. Take care of each other. Have a great weekend. I'll see you on Monday with my next review. Take care.